Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Sky TV. This is Stefan Rapazzo. We join you on Saturday morning, day 2 of AUCs in cold Ballarat. Today we've got the first part of the power pools underway. 1 point in, we're joining the game Colony Pillage versus Outbreak Mountain. Outbreak Mountain, the club from Adelaide that shook everything up by winning the South Regionals this year. The Chile and Heads of State make a living of winning that division, and Adelaide seems to be, always wearing the wrong shoe at the end of the race. And this year they got over the hump, got over the mountain. The Outbreak Back Mountain is legit. They got some of their hot players back from Sydney, and Joel Pillar and Sweet As, and they seem legitimate. First point, their offense looked good, and they're up against this Colony Pillage team that we all know very well, part of the Colony machine. So Colony Pillage, this is the defensive dingoes, are how this team is split up. The D players that have been selected to the open rep team. And there's a lot of familiar faces out there. We saw Plunder yesterday. That's the O team. Let's see how we go. Mike Neal told me yesterday we got a shot from Henry. Good to Ant Dowell. Dowell continues with a bit of a dump to Gav Moore. Gav, I flick Gus in the corner. Has the wind got it, or is it perfect? Looks like it was just perfect. Gus guy for the goal. And like I was saying, Mike Neal yesterday was saying that the Plunder side was obviously the better Colony side based on what they've been doing in their training sessions. But I would imagine some of these boys on Pillage would have something to say to contest that. We'll also be joined today with our game advisor, Woof Duff Rules Guru guy here in Australia. He's been all over from Brisbane and now in Melbourne. Ruben Berg, how are you today? Ruben Berg will be introducing himself shortly. We've just hooking up a few more cables. I believe he can hear me. And we will have him at field level for some of his takes on what's happening on the sideline and in the game. If there are any calls that need a little bit of help for resolution, he'll be there to give his advice and kind of not oversee, but help them out with conveyance of the rules. So here we go, 1-1. Colony Cupcake pulling up wind. He's done this before. Big pull. Float, nice and floaty. Gonna land end zone. And Outbreak come the other way. Joel Pillar with the disc. I can't hear anything in these. 67 puts it forward. Gav Moore gets a hand on it, but macked in the air and complete. Jonathan Warren White with the disc. Back to Pillar. Pillar to Sando, Dave Sanderson. A Wombat from a few years back, 4 years back on that silver medal squad. Pillar engages Sando and then takes him again on a second look. Sando with the disc. Who looked to pop it to Pillar and wisely avoided with Rob Andrews right on his hip there. Now Pillar, he really wants it. He gets it. TiVo with a very tight defense and contested stall count by the sounds of it. Contested stall is right as Rubenberg signals. I suspect that means it will be coming in at 8 rather. Thank you, Ruben. Joel Pillar throws immediately and it's swatted away. Justice prevails perhaps. Cupcake wants to rip it after he avoided. He ripped it, and then his men left. But Rob Andrews, not the intended receiver, definitely got there, but maybe a gust of wind couldn't close his hand on it. Joel Pillar now. I can play this Huck game, and Cupcake's there to defend it. It's not going to get past him. He just pops it away wisely. One of the few cases where catching your Ds may not apply. His team now has a chance to catch up without rushing that first throw of the offense. Okay, cool. Here in the Rat, Ballarat, Victoria, country Victoria, Australia. It's windy again. The cloud cover is covering once again. It's cold. There's a lot of pants on these sidelines. I'm happy to see, though, 14 sets of legs out there, none wearing pants on the field. That's refreshing. These guys are here to play. Alex Latamato, a dingo for the first time this year. He's been a Goanna in the past, I believe 2 campaigns with the Goannas. And now ready for the Dingoes. His game's improved big time as he throws an OI flick up to Cupcake, grabs it, being big to Rob Andrews on the move. He's got 2 upfield already. Gav Moore's coming back to him as he dumps to Esch and then back to Andrews. Andrews gets to Lotto. Lotto back to Andrews. Andrews working out of the handler position. Now Cupcake with it. It's OI backhand right through the hands of Gav Moore. Very uncharacteristic, and all these turnovers, not what I was expecting to start this game. It is windy, though. Conditions are not perfect. Cold hands, gusty winds. I did wear pants today myself, and I'm much warmer, personally, which is a much better choice than yesterday. So today's a good day, people. Enjoy it. Dave Sanderson has a rip. It's up. Oscar versus BJ. Oh, BJ, this is some fresh young blood, as far as I've been told. Only been playing Ultimate for about 3 months, but just a freak of an athlete is what I understand. And has a great bit at that one, but just put just beyond him by Sando. Cupcake, Tom Tullett is his real name, but we'll just call him Cupcake. Winds up. He's got all the throws in the world, this boy. His game's improved. It continues to improve every year. It seems there's a big backhand. He's got TiVo. Gav Moore there for him. Upfield, Esch marks a dump for him. Behind. Esch, another first-time dingo. This Colony squad's got a few cracker dingo deep players as well. Lotto, he was waiting for some upline cuts, and all the while Rob Andrews just kept creeping into the back of that end zone. And it was a score, but it's coming back. Perhaps another. It is, Ruben indicates a stall count violation. And no contest. He will contest or give up the turnover there, and Joel Pillar takes over for Outbreak. He got a couple deep cuts right away. Didn't take him. Sando's coming under. TiVo, Thomas Vo, an ex-Blue Bottle representative. So many reps on these Colony squads. Now his first selection for UGC squad. He's going to London with the Barramundis. And what a rip by Cupcake. Just finds the perfect seam in the wind. A backhand outside in, and just knifes right into the lap of Rob Andrews there. Pillage showing what they can do defensively there. A couple turnovers, a couple that they took away there. That bid by TiVo, awesome. The run through, interception, set up that Cupcake goal. 2-1. It's now up a break, so certainly early momentum to Colony. Let's see what Outbreak can do now to keep this close early. If Outbreak can stay in it, they got themselves a chance, but up against Colony, early game, you want to make sure those jitters are put away and you can be at your best straight away, because playing from behind against the Colony team is not where anybody wants to be. So in these lops, if these teams get on a run, if Pillage do get on runs, that would definitely suit their roster, being all defensive specialists. That's what they like to do. Get turns, score, and keep the same guys out there. Keep the defensive specialists on the field. And Outbreak now moves the other way. Joel Pillar with the disc. We see a zone by the looks of things. Indeed we do, as he hammers over top. Ooh, Lucas Nichols with a bid there in the zone, but not going to do it. BJ with the disc. Now Joel Pillar over the zone, hammers over top. Sam with the disc. Back to Joel Pillar. Pillar having a look. This zone looks good. A puppy fence, 1-3-2-1. Pillar again. That's what Outbreak's going to need, is a lot of touches from Joel Pillar. Run this offense. He's got the throws. He's got the experience, but that one gets away from him in front of Jonathan Warren White as he was going behind the cup there. Now Cupcake with the disc. Little high release flicky to Gav. Gav puts a big one. Rob Andrews is there. He had a step, but not quite there. The throw a bit out in front. And we'll see if Pillage put that zone on again. Joel Pillar picks up the disc. Walks it to the line and into the Lions' den. The heart of that Colony front four. Sando now dumps to Kale. It's Kaon rather. To Rex with the disc. Back to Pillar. Joel Pillar controlling the pace. Needs to, but can't force it. Now he's got Jonathan Warren White. That's who he wants. Back to Pillar. Warren White's got to keep popping, keep it short. Him and Sanderson doing a job there. He gets it over to Rex. Rex wants to get it straight back to Pillar every time by the looks of it. Now to Sando. Sando's got a gainer. He's got a man. BJ's behind the defense, and Outbreak in a good position to score an upwinder here. Patience has paid them off, and a great use of the bottom side to get himself a backhand to Pillar. Great bit of Marty using some party machine there to get himself some space. And Outbreak answer back with a very important goal early in this game to just keep it very interesting. Off,
like I said,
and a great use
Colony.
of the
They're not
bottom
go
side to
to
get himself a backhand.
They're going to
stay
in it, and
great
hope to play their best
bit of
frisbee
Marty
at the end of the game and steal a short run to steal a game.
Otherwise, Pillage is too good at winning games when they got the lead. And we're just starting to get a little bit of drizzle here in Ballarat. Not getting wet yet, but definitely some precipitation coming down. Will add to the inclement conditions and the difficulties out there on the field. Outbreak now sets up their D-line. Britton Jones with the disc. BJ ready to pull. Well, not quite ready. We've got a guy out there on the Outbreak line with an exceptional afro called Scary, as far as I'm told. That's his name. Great luck, mate. Bringing those 70s days back as BJ grips and rips. Nice pull. It's going to land end zone. Henry lets it land as it was coming in at knee level, and woohoo. Andy Baddix came firing in like a rocket. Luckily for Colony, they avoid a turn on the first throw and or a Callahan. Henry back to Cupcake. Cupcake wants the around. Now he faces up again. And forehands to Nathan Stacy, who catches at the sideline 5 meters out of his own end zone. His teammates scramble from the line as he puts it up the line again to Cupcake, who wants to go backhand straight away. Gives Baddix a little bit of how you doing? What's this all about? And a bit of a veteran move there by Baddix. Slow him down on that pivot. Make sure that Huck doesn't come out. But foul, no contest. Cupcake gets Stacy's shaking, baking, and getting it upwind. And then he loses the handle on the Huck attempt as it sails out of bounds just beyond midfield. And Outbreak D-line get a chance to break. Ruben can hear me. Ruben, we may be able to hear you right now. Alex Britton-Jones. Scary. Ooh, second effort, still can't get it. Angus Keenan tries to make him pay straight away, but that one stays low. And can't find Henry Thomas. Outbreak, get another chance.
Rob, gotta work. Tell us under, he's poaching. Tell us he's poaching. Come on, tell us.
Ruben, how's it looking down there? T puts it up. We've got a big ball. Tran on the other end, two hands, safe as, and to Baddix. Oh, bobbles 2 meters out. Then the high release backhand pops it over, and Outbreak do answer with a break. We will try touching base with our on-field game advisor. Bobbles 2 meters out.
That we are
then the high release
Ruben,
backhand.
are you with us?
Pops
Yes,
it
I
over,
am.
and Outbreak do answer
fine,
with a
thanks.
break. How you enjoying this weather that Colorad's putting on? We
for
will
us so
try touching base
not
with
ideal,
our
but that's what
on-field game
Ballarat's known
advisor.
for.
Bobbles 2 meters out.
Excellent. We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release
Ruben, are you
backhand.
with us?
Pops it
Yes, I
over,
am.
and Outbreak
Excellent.
do
Doing
answer
fine,
with a
thanks.
break.
Let's
How you
remind
enjoying
the
this
fans
weather
what
that
Colorad's
putting on?
putting
We
on
will
for game
try
advisors are doing.
touching base
not
with
ideal,
our
but that's what
on-field
Ballarat's
game
known
advisor.
for.
Bobbles
Now,
2 meters out.
excellent. We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release
Ruben, are you with
backhand.
us?
Pops it
Yes, I am.
over, and
Yes,
Outbreak
I am.
do
Doing
answer
fine,
with a
thanks.
break.
Let's
How you
remind
enjoying
the
this
fans
weather
what
that
Colorad's
putting on?
putting
We
on
will
for game
try
advisors are doing.
touching base
not
with
ideal,
our
but that's what
on-field
Ballarat's
game
known
advisor.
for.
Bobbles
Now,
2 meters out.
excellent. We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release
Ruben, are you with
backhand.
us?
Pops it
Yes, I am.
over,
Doing
and
fine.
Outbreak do
Doing
answer
fine,
with a
thanks.
break.
Let's
How you
remind
enjoying
the
this
fans
weather
what
that
Colorad's putting on
we
for
will
game
try
advisors are doing.
touching base
not
with
ideal,
our
but that's
on-field
what
game
Ballarat's
advisor.
known
Bobbles
for.
2 meters out.
We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release
Ruben, are you with
backhand.
us?
Working on it.
Yes,
Pops it
I am.
over,
Doing
and
fine.
Outbreak do
Thanks.
answer with a break. But
Let's
you
remind
enjoying
the
this
fans
weather
what
that
Colorad's putting on
we
for
will
game
try
advisors are doing.
touching base with
Ideal,
our
but
on-field
that's what
game
Ballarat's
advisor.
known for.
Bobbles 2 meters out.
We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release
Ruben, are you with
backhand.
us?
Working on it.
Yes,
Pops it
I am.
over,
Doing
and
fine.
Outbreak do
Thanks.
answer with a break. But
Let's
you
remind
enjoying
the
this
fans
weather
what
that
Colorad's putting on
we
for
will
game
try
advisors are doing.
touching base with
Ideal,
our
but
on-field
that's what
game
Ballarat's
advisor.
known for.
Bobbles 2 meters out.
We are
Then the
between
high
heads.
release goes straight away. Cupcake wanted it. Well defended backhand by Baddix. And now Sammy Ogden with the disc to Henry. Henry to Cupcake, and boom. Oh! And BJ gets a hand on it within meters of its release.
You just apologise to the folks. There was just some weird audio going on.
Apologies to those listening back home right now. We had some audio distortions that we're not sure why they happened, but we're working it out. Should be fine and getting better as we go through the game and the day. ABJ with the disc now. Centers. Number 9 with the disc. Ooh, and too far out for Whiten. Number 27 for Outbreak as Rory Connell picks up the disc, gets it to Cupcake with Baddix breathing down his neck. Easy throw to Ant Dowell and the finisher to TiVo. Colony score on their O-line return, and it's all knotted up at 3s. Yeah. There's
Sorry, something weird went on there.
yeah. We'll keep working on it. I'll keep letting you know.
Cool. No, I switched the replay on, so I was getting like delayed.
And at 3-all. Yeah, I can't hear myself back through here again. At 3-all, we will see the Pillage D-line doing what they do. This is why this team was put together, because of their defensive stars, like we said at the start. With Cupcake set to pull. Upwind, we've got a tight battle nice and early. This is what we want. This is what we want to make it a tight battle at that pointy end there. A nice start to this game. Good pace, a lot of patience shown by both teams, with both Colony particularly showing a bit more of the power game in the long game. Joel Pillar picks up. Centers to Sanderson. Sanderson with the disc. Moves forward to Jonathan Warren White. Warren White with the disc. Pillar moves for him, gets him the disc. About 25 meters out of their own end zone now, nearing half. Pillar backhands in a crowd. Lucas Nichols steps off his man. And Cupcake just launches it. We've got a floater. We've got a pack. Who will win the pack grab? The ground. Likely to see a call in a pack grab, always. Who will make said call? I think it was a whole bunch of misreading the disc because of reading all the bodies. And should stand, but we'll
took out everybody. I reckon that's uncontested.
Ruben, can you hear us?
So everyone stays there apart from Robin, whoever's marking him.
Tell us about the conversation there, Ruben. So Colony with disc, Rob Andrews disc, and shoots and scores straight away. Outbreak likely not to be too happy about that after the result was an uncaught disc on the huck. Maybe we can get some insight from Ruben now. He can't hear. Continuing to work on our audio. Continuing to work on our audio here. We're going to have it right very soon for you. And in the meantime, we'll let you know about our venue today. We're at St. Patrick's College in Ballarat, a beautiful school, educational institution. We're on their cricket pitch, lots of nice brick buildings, and still lots of wind and cloud with the backdrop behind the school. There's 3 venues at this year's AUC. We've got St. Patrick's, where we're at now. We've got Moorshead Park, where the showcase game was yesterday. And we've also got one other one that the name's escaping me at the moment, but a 3rd venue. So some of the players doing a bit of driving around in the day to get to their places, but they're all very close, and they're all very nice pitches. So it's a good time here in Ballarat. Sanderson now to Pillar. Pillar to Schrader on the sideline. Looked to go straight back to Pillar, but opted out with the defense coming. Sutas gets a tap. Mid-air correction on it, but Sanderson still picks it up. Sando with the disc now. Sando to Pillar. Pillar jacks it. It's knifing the other way. Can White get there? Not quite. Wind got too much of that one. And Colony Pillage will take over. Latamato gives a look at the wind with the grass flick there. Picks up the disc, and he's on his way to the line. Lotto always with some exceptional styles. Sporting the top half man bun with the nice dirty European stash. Good work with the styles there, Lotto. Let's see what this first throw gives us. Backhand. Oh, sorry to set that one up for you, mate. Straight into the defense there. as Joel Pillar picks up now on the doorstep. Backhand break to Warren White. Beautiful breakthrow by Joel Pillar. He's got such a massive first step there. Outbreak up 4-3, giving it to Pillage at the moment. We've got 3 other games happening at this venue today. Right behind us, we've got Newcastle's I-Beam and Sydney's Clench. And it appears that I-Beam has just gone up 6-5 behind us. So with the weather still looking a little bit miserable, and Outbreak now all knotted up at 4s, sorry.
Is that for all boys? Yeah. Just apologies, the scoreboard was on.
Apologies to our fans at home. Our scoreboard was not caught up to verify that of the legitimate score in the field, but we're all ready to go now. And Alex Britton-Jones, disc in hands. Hand in the air now, ready to pull. Here it comes. That pull looks like it's going to stay in. Just past the goal line. Oh, and Scary coming down on Cupcake. I don't know if it was all that scary for Cupcake or not, but he was awfully close to getting a hand there. Gus to Cupcake. Cupcake with the disc. Back to Henry. Henry to Stacy. Nathan Stacy gets to Cupcake, doing a lot of work in their own end zone here. Henry goes for a run. Cupcake continues to survey. Nathan goes up line. Gav Moore comes in the other side for the swing. Gavin Moore to Cupcake. Cupcake directing traffic with his offhand, then to Henry, now to Connell. Rory Connell back to Cupcake. Who gets it to Henry, but Sweet As gets underneath and gets the D right on the doorstep. Adelaide with a chance now to convert to take the lead that we thought they might have taken last. But Alex Britton-Jones, a body-twisting backhand break there, and gets it to T for the goal. And that is indeed a go-ahead goal for the Green Short boys from Adelaide. I'm just going to try and check in with our game advisor. Ruben, are you with us?
Sir.
I believe you are indeed. Ruben, we've had not too many calls in this game so far. How have they been resolved thus far, by your opinion?
That's with Joel.
No, he's not coming. You're not going to him, I don't think.
Ruben can hear me. Indeed he can. Ruben, I may not be able to hear you through these headphones, but you may be going in, so we'll continue to chat between points and work it out. Thank you. Colony now set to receive, coming from with the wind at their back. First time behind the 8 ball in the game, with Adelaide taking the break there, and Britton-Jones set to pull.
Here we go, Brett, here we go, team.
Alex Britton-Jones puts it up. 5-4 Adelaide. Henry collects the pull, gets it to Tom Tullett. Tullett to Connell. Connell jacks it. He's got Gav Moore. He's got a step. Sweet As is coming, but that's all Gav all day, even with the hand on the wrist. A great play by Sweet As, but Gav had too big of a step to be overcome. That ties it all up, 5-5. And we'll check back in to see if we've got some audio with Ruben. How are you, Rubes?
Can you hear me there?
I can hear you. I suspect there could be something wrong with the headset, because you come in and out as you're talking with me. So
No worries.
uh,
Interesting that last point there, we saw Connell. Looked like potentially a bit of a travel there as he came around the corner as he caught that one, but not called by the Outbreak players there.
fair enough. Those travels are tricky ones to call sometimes when you're moving at full speed. Sometimes they baffle me when they are called when I have the disc, particularly when I suspect somebody's not in a good enough position or we're moving too quick to really have as good of a look. So travel's always a tricky one to call when you're on the move. Cupcake set to pull, tie game. Race to halftime is on right now. And hand up indicating readiness on the Colony side. A little bit of talk still going on the Outbreak side, but we've got a hand now and we've got a pull in the air. And Kaon receives to Pillar. Pillar, center of the field, 10 meters out of his end zone. Gets a backhand out. Kaon looking at his options. Pillar shakes and bakes a little bit with a couple hop steps. Then rips a big backhand. Sandoz in front. Gets over Gav Moore. 6-5 to Outbreak. Hell of a throw by Pillar over one of the premier defenders in Australia, and gets it to his speed man, Dave Sanderson, getting behind Gav. Look at that catch. So 6-5, Outbreak saying we're the real deal here. That they are the real deal. They're staying in this game.
Hey, Steph, if you want to talk to Ruben, if I'm here, just say it, I'll open it up.
Ruben Berg checking back in once again with you on the sideline, continuing a bit of dialogue for the sake of our audio. How's that Colony line looking down there? What's going on?
They're looking to see how the Dingo defenders are doing in terms of guarding the thrower. Australia's had a reputation in the past of being a bit too physical, and I think they're doing a really good job of staying the appropriate distance away but still putting on really good pressure. So it's a good thing to keep an eye on.
Excellent. We'll take note of that and see how their fundamentals are working out, their basic markings and holding the foundations of these defenses. Roy Connell's hands up. BJ's hands up. Here comes the pull. Nice floaty pull. Gonna make it past the brick mark. Upwind. Cupcake receives. Looks for Rory. Looks for the big. Swings across to Henry. Henry and OI to Gav and mishandled. Not happy with himself, but playing defense. His man goes. Will he try and make him pay? No, he won't. He'll go to Baddocks, who cuts under. Baddocks now with Sam Ogden on the mark, a little ex-Adelaide man there. Floats one up, gets too high in a pack. Doucette steals it from the pack. Now Sammy Ogden back to Cupcake. He had TiVo. TiVo came back and Cupcake wisely holstered as Doucette catches it off his chest there. Now Henry. Henry puts one up. He's got Cupcake. Baddocks coming. Well, oh goodness, I can't believe Cupcake caught that on the bobble. Gives it a punt. Great focus. That was anybody's disc. Bobbling around over the head, into the arms, into the bread basket. Bobble and a half. Well done for Cupcake. Look at the punt. Rather, Tom Tullett. Thanks, John Hempel.
Yeah, boy! Come on, Outbreak! Yeah, boy! Happy birthday, Sando!
We've got a timeout. Timeout charged to Colony. Ruben, we'll have your conversation. Not yet heard.
Maybe just follow it. But don't like track it too much. Just point it back there.
Yeah, we've just popped over our shoulder to the I-beam clench game, 6-6. I-beam's disc. Yeah, and if we do have a game, our game end early, we'll pop it over and see if we can get the finish or at any breaks. But continued ultimate coverage. Number 8 for I-beam. On the doorstep. Gets it into Ryan Davey, a Dingo selection, and gets the goal. I-beam up 7-6. This is the third time these two teams have squared off this season. Clench have taken both of them. And I-beam up this game. Back to the action at hand. 6-6, a cracker of a game on this field. Outbreak dictating the pace to some end, and Colony continuing to respond. Ruben, what were you and the other game advisor chatting about at the timeout?
It's just a chance for us to check in and see how we're seeing the game going, and check on how the teams are going offside. We've seen Outbreak become close to being offside on offense a couple of times now, so we'll probably put the official signal up if they do go off again.
Right, so you kind of deal with a few strategies of dealing with some things that may be trending as far as the on-field behavior goes?
That's right, just keeping an eye on how things are going, and the aim is to try and help prevent things from going too far before they actually go too far. So that's why we have a little chat and work out how we want to be communicating to each other and to the players.
A nice luxury for all of us, especially the players. Just make it that much easier to focus on the game and everything work itself out a bit more naturally. So, after the timeout, called by Colony, after they scored, get a breather, get their defensive stalwarts back on the field, ready to win a big point. This race to halftime is always big. Win the half is, win yourself the break. Don't let the break come to you. And Cupcake ready to pull. Here comes the pull. Tom Tullett airs it out. Going to get to within 5 meters of that end zone in the upwinds. Puts it forward to Sanderson, almost has to fall over for it. But keeps it, throws over top. Warren White back to Pillar. It was in a power position, called one man out and shoots to his big man 99, who's got it all day long, the beast of an athlete over there. BJ gets up, gets big, 2 hands. Been playing under a year, this man. I hear competitively for only 3 months. Could be an impactful player for years to come if he keeps up at this pace. 7-6, Outbreak goes up. Class act, just a double high five. Wears it well. Ruben, anything of note over the course of that point besides a beautiful catch in the end zone? And we'll come back to Ruben soon. Colony O-line on this defensively minded Colony team out there. Alex Britton-Jones with the disc, routinely pulling. Up goes the pull. Another solid pull. About 5 meters from the end zone again. Tom Tullett with the disc. Tullett winds up. It's floaty. Doucette's on the chase. Doesn't even have to lay out. Beautiful catch. The wheels get going. What a wind up by Cupcake. Wanted to go forehand slide. Did the 360 backhand wind up and launched, and found himself a streaking Nick Doucette, who just put on the afterburners, as we see right here, never slowing down, and runs it right into his chest. Great clap catch goal for Doucette, set up by a fantastic throw by Tom Tullett.
No, that's good. Hey, but you did the right thing. It's happened all game. They did something that happened.
7-all. Back and forth. Never been a 2-point lead. This is the kind of game you want to be in. This is the kind of game you want to watch. This is why we all love Ultimate. The longer that a game like this persists, the better it is for everyone.
Let's work hard offense.
Rubenberg, your thoughts on the game again and on that last point?
There's been some really amazing throws, and I think that's going to be the trend for the rest of this game. People trying to put it downwind with some big shots, and they hope the other team, if they don't catch it, can't work it back up.
What do you think? Perhaps a Pillar v Tullett throwing battle could highlight what's happening so far?
I think so.
Thanks. Here's Pillar again, throws over top, pops it back to Pillar. Pillar to Warren White. Warren White, a great leading pass, gets it to Pillar on the front foot. Another throw 5 meters from the end zone. Schrader with the disc. Schrader, Esch on the mark. Backhand out. Has his man, 87 Davis, on the doorstep. Working hard for a throw, working hard to get open. He puts it up off fingertips and into Esch, swiping hands. Tough one to eat when you're on the doorstep and you get 2 throws. Tom Tullett now with the disc in his own end zone. Cuts generating. Ben Sutas, a first-time Dingo selection with the disc, gets it to Tom Tullett with another bobble catch. Second of the game. This one didn't count for a score though. Thomas Vo with the disc. Then to Alex Latamatos. Latamatos puts it up. He's got Gav Moore against the young up-and-comer BJ. Legs trip up. Ground strip perhaps. Call perhaps. Let's listen. Perhaps an injury on the play. We've got a foul, no contest. Gav Moore's disc. With all of the field behind him. We're trying to catch up. Wisely dumped straight away to become an upfield option. And Rob Andrews gets to Tom Tullett. Tullett with a disc, who wants the big backhand break, returns to Andrews and gets on his bike. Ooh, and Andrews tries to throw the around backhand, but doesn't have enough under it. Outbreak, setting up there. Pillar sends Sanderson to the disc. Sanderson to Pillar. Pillar to Rex. Rex spinning around, looking for anything, throws it on stall 9, and Sutas comes underneath and steals it. Rex not putting himself in a great throwing position there, outstanding straight up the whole way while he spun. Now Cupcake gets it, meters out. Colony with a chance, tries to jam it in, and another turnover on an Outbreak swiping hand. Pillar rips it. He's got nobody in the neighborhood. He just wanted it out of his own end zone. Not a horrible decision with that scenario, setting up with nothing behind you and no early available cuts standing in your own end zone. Colony taking their time now, setting up their offense to go on a long trip upwind for the upwind score. Latamatos steps over the disc. Has a look. Puts it up. Gav Moore under the disc all day long. Dumps to Esh, who catches it on through, spinning it through its wrist. And then he tries to force it forward to Rob Andrews, and Pillar knocks it down again. And he calls a timeout and walks away from the spot after about 4 or 5 turnovers in this point. Pillar's had enough. Having a look now at that last one, just an errant throw, not what he wanted, and swiped away. Rubes tied at 7. Is this? Well, timeout's about to wrap up. 7-7. This race to halftime is real. Outbreak will start on their own end zone line, disc in their chief thrower's hands, and ready for the trip downfield. The punt and pin, maybe not the wisest option against a team like Colony, but on a point like this, not the worst idea either to get out of that end zone when you get the wind behind you. I suspect after a timeout that they're going to have something a little prettier than a Huck and Hope setup.
I was so impressed at the same time, like,
You're gonna win this back, Pillage!
that would have taken you out.
Setting up in a horizontal. Sando and Rex flanking Pillar. Trying to open up some north-south space here. The sideline's starting to get a little louder here. Big point here to take the half.
4 days away.
Pillar centers to Sanderson. Sanderson straight back to Pillar. Pillar to Rex. Rex from his own end zone straight back to Pillar. Oh, gets a great pass to Rex. He winds up. Wanted it but returns it to Pillar. Pillar now to the big man, BJ. Warren White. Pillar. Pillar, Andrews on the mark. He's barking orders. He throws a backhand. He's got his man again. He's caught it, but he's not in the goal. He's thrown one. It's had the wrong edge on it, but it's still going to count for a goal. Greg with the goal. Halftime is here, joined by Ruben Berg. We're going to continue to work together the best we can to get as much as we can out of this field for the audio and to hear how they're resolving things so far. How do you see the game, Rubes?
Yeah, it's been very good, I think. There's been a few calls and a lot of them have just been uncontested straight away, which is always really great to see. That's obviously, you don't want there to be any calls, but when there are calls, it's great to see them being uncontested. In that last big long point, there was that big catch between Gav and BJ, and oftentimes we see those sorts of calls do get contested when people think, oh, it was an accident, I didn't mean to do it, but it doesn't really matter if it's an accident or not, it's still a foul, and so that was good to see that one resolved very quickly.
Excellent. Great take on the game. I'm going to see, I spoke to a few players, I might see if I can get some insight.
by accident. Everyone's like, I got 15 meter under. Wow, good. Go boys. We're in there. Good.
All good? It work better that way?
Yes. Just when you fully turn, it's just getting a couple of drop
Yep.
It's not too bad.
No,
I'll make sure I'm going
easy to fix.
I'll try and get some of these paddles. They're directional, so if I got a couple and had them pointed at worlds, I'd probably be better. Add it to the build.
And obviously we're doing 10 times the amount we would normally do.
Yeah.
It might be once a game you would go to me, but
Yeah.
it's
I
great.
reckon if Steph, if you ask him kind of open questions like, oh, how's the game going, like, or what are you seeing, and then you don't have to feed something to him, and you just whatever you've seen or heard or whatever. I mean, it's good for filling the dead time.
For here, yeah, but at Worlds they're going to have another commentator
We'll
talk to
hopefully
me.
have more.
And it would only be going to me for some specific incident. No, in between points I could do, something key happened. But just the fact that I can hear
Do
you,
something immediately after the call.
that's a bit too hard.
If we've got the discussion, you've probably echoed the call anyway, so it's clear. So I don't think it's bad. It's just that, and what we could do is, if we're smart enough, we should be able to go back and get the replay while you're talking about it.
Sure.
2 minutes, 1 minute, your take. Okay, so
get a
just
chance to chat to
before we
time-wise
take
with
the
those
field
guys?
again, Outbreak
I'm
have taken
talking
half. Playing a pretty tidy game by their opinion, but we're joined here with Joel Pillar. Joel, tell us about the first half, what you guys have done right and what you expect from Colony in the next half.
10-second rule for the disc in the
Quite a
play.
windy game.
The last one,
definitely
that
dominated by going downwind and basically upwind was. So we started
Just
going downwind.
nothing.
They got one upwind, we got it back, and that's the story of the first half. Really, so it's 8-7 with only 2 upwind breaks, so to speak. Look, this team has a lot of self-belief. It's been building over a few years under the guidance of Coach BJ.
I think, unfortunately, the lack of scenarios no one's ever going to enforce it on the other team that should. I'll mention it heaps at the captain's meeting at World, saying, tell them, you got 10 seconds.
They're just about to do, we just want to go out there and win. You know, and,
Cool. Just carry on.
It's a good game.
Excellent news.
We've only
Well,
got 3
good work
games,
out
so
there and good luck in the second half.
Thanks very much.
Gonna try and- So, Joel, just very quickly. We're not timing between points, but there's still an overall expectation that it, within the normal rules, should be about 75 seconds. You guys are taking like 5 minutes.
Us or them?
Both, but you guys are particularly bad on offense.
On offense?
Yeah. I'm happy there. If you're happy, there's no sun or anything today to be a factor. Thanks, Steve.
Okay. Teams break out of their huddles, taking their lines, ready for an exciting second half of this Colony Outbreak power pool game.
Lotto.
I'm going to get a quick word out of Alex Latamatos here on the sideline. Alex, tell us about the first half. Is this what you expected out of Outbreak? And perhaps some adjustments or things you guys are going to look to do in the second half?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of big throws, the nature of the windy game. I guess that's what's happening. We're doing the same as them. I think we need to improve our concentration and choices offensively. Because I think we're playing pretty well, moving the disc upfield, and then one thing's letting us down. And I don't think it's coming from across any one player. I think everyone on the team's made 1 or 2 little errors, and that's contributing to a poorer team performance than we'd like at the moment. But it's the kind of thing where if everyone can help each other get up 1 or 2% each.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Lado. Good luck in the second half. Have a good game. Sammy Ogden collects the pull and gets it to Tom Tullett. We're seeing a zone for the first time from Outbreak as Henry flicks high to get to Sammy Ogden. That one looked like it got caught up, and then he throws a ripper of a hammer to Gav Moore. Breaks the zone. Ant and Gav. The zone is catching up, but still on the back foot as Henry puts a throw to score to Ant Dowell, and just like that, it's a tie game. 8 all people, a couple of snowmen on the board. Here comes the replay. Gets it across. Henry, nice OI. Little bit of float on there. All the time in the world for Ant to run into it for the goal.
Started to see the air surge, I'm like,
Yeah,
don't throw the hammer at me.
side, but I don't know, that's tough. I hate that feeling when you're deep and they're just advancing up. You're like, fuck. No resistance. They're breaking through.
Nice work, Stan.
Which way do I go? That was good though. They threw up a shitty.
And the first zone we see of the game, I suppose, proved ineffective. Not sure if it's the answer in a game like this with these stallions running, whether putting the zone on to block is the answer. But it's always worth a try. It is always worth a shot, especially on a windy day. But maybe not on those downwinders. Here comes Tom Tullett. Set to pull. Sends it flying the other way. Floats it into the brick mark. Pillard trots over, picks up. Wanted Sanderson, gets it over to Schrader. Schrader to 67, back to Schrader. He's having a look. Work cut out for him to get the throw off, and then gets the return again. Schrader to Davis. Sanderson catches it while getting into the splits. Very close to the ground, that one. A second opinion is sought. Have a look at the replay here. Ooh, it's close. Our angle sees his back, so takes away a bit of perspective as well, but he's got it. Back to Schrader, to Pillar, with hands flying in every direction around. Now to Sanderson. Sanderson. Schrader. Schrader floats it out. Davis was the intended receiver, but Latamatos runs into it and intercepts for the turn. Tullett to Lucas Nichols. Nichols gets Gav Moore. Gav gets Esh. Eshan to Tullett. Tullett. Close sideline under our cameras to Latamatos. Latamatos rips the hammer. Beautiful throw. A ripper of a throw. He likes it. Gives us the one-arm flex and has Rob Andrews in the end zone for a goal. That's a dingo-to-dingo connection we'll hope to see more of in London. Here's Tullett with the disc. Forward to Lotto, right under the camera. Watch this disc move. A ripper of a hammer that gets some serious altitude and just finds his target perfectly. Back of the end zone. That's a nice goal. Put that one on your resume, Latamatos. Rubenberg, what do you see down there?
Yeah, so just on that last point, there was obviously the call where Gav thought the disc had hit the ground. Came out there, but the players resolved it themselves. One of Gav's teammates, Ash, said he thought it was up, and Gav accepted that call. And so I was just out there to listen in what was going on.
Great insight. Thank you very much, Ruben. We were not entirely clear what was happening from our angle, so thanks for clearing that up. And good on Ash for being very spirited and calling it up even though the call didn't favor his side. In the end, they got the goal. Karma played right for them. Rob Andrews set to pull. Tom Tullett taking a rare break from his defensive line and his pulling duties. We've got a 9-8 game behind us as well. These power pools are really turning into some elite and well competed for games. Pillar watches it bounce, knocks it into his hands and into Schrader. Pillar again. Had a man, opted off. Sanderson to Pillar. Pillar under our cameras nearly. Looks to break. Flicks on a high stall count. It hits the line, so it will go there, but it goes for a turn. He was running out of options. There's a discussion whether the turnover came at the stall or whether it came from the throw hitting the ground. So Rob has called the stall. Joel believes he may have had it out fractionally earlier, and the turnover will count as a throwing error rather than a stall count. Latamatos picks up for Colony going the other way. Latamatos to Lucas Nichols. What a great catch by Lucas as he falls away. But the preservation of greatness rule applies, and he's not allowed to, not able to get the next completion as he scurries onto the mark. Pillar now directing traffic again with his offhand to Schrader, to Pillar. Sorry, that's Kaon he's working with. Sanderson. Center of the field. Call on the field. Pick called. Players reset and we're back in action. Sanderson still with the disc. Break flick. Joel Pillar bobbles and catches in a fair bit of traffic there. Now to Sanderson. Sanderson fakes his forehand. Push pass to Pillar. Rob Andrews reaches in front of the bit of a lazy disc and then gets on his bike and goes, and he's got himself a goal falling away. Two-hand layout. Colony Pillage have well and truly responded since giving up the half. 3 in a row. 10-8 Colony Pillage. Definitely have tidied up their game. Work rates up, and they're feeling the benefit of it, seeing the benefits of that on the scoreboard there. Rob Andrews with a great hustle play on maybe a bit of a lazy attempt at the pushy there that Rob Andrews could, just get the run through, and his just kept running there and was so open for the easy transition goal.
Go in, that gives you another chance later to bust deep and have all that space. It's easy when you make a job to fall in that trap. It's just about being real decisive. If you do it at 100%, the defender doesn't know they just think it's low. Also, you've got a fair and we've got a lot of good teams on that line as well, including you. Let's go, boys! Let's go, bro!
So Tullett set to pull. Outbreak after taking half. Jubilation. I heard in their spirit circle saying we're in their head now. And now Colony's just come right back and said, well, remember us, we're Colony. We're kind of like Hawthorne, we don't go away. And now it is the mental toughness that is well and truly going to be under scrutiny if Outbreak is going to come back. Great catch there. Called out, called in by two different players, both on the opposing team. Ooh, our replay of it's very close too. I believe that back foot may have lifted before his hand had squeezed.
So, did you have a perspective? Okay.
My back foot was good. My back foot was definitely in.
Yeah, I believe his back foot was in, and was his perspective was it was down.
Ooh, right there we do have it. For just
If you
a
think it's too
fraction of
close,
a
you can always
second, I
contest
think
it, and
he
we'll
was
go back
in.
up there.
Our replays show what my eyes see, that he was in. And we're playing on with the right call being made. Schrader's cut the disc. Gets it up to Stacy. Or not up to Stacy, the turnover on the air and throw goes to Stacy. Latamatos now. Latamatos to Stacy. Stacy to Moore. Moore to Cupcake. Tullett. Backhand rip to Sutas. A beautiful throw. Oh, out the back, too much on it. Too many curls for Tom Tullett.
I did not think.
Ruben Burke, how was that line call resolved?
It was resolved very well. We had two game advisors, and one had a really good view on whether the foot was down, and I had a view that the foot was in, and the players took that advice.
Well, to help you sleep well at night, we had a look at the replay and confirm what you said and thought the same thing. Timeout called, charged to South Australia. The boys from Outbreak. And coming out of the timeout, Outbreak with the disc. Down 2 after taking half. They are desperate for this score to keep their hopes alive of stealing the game, in my humble opinion. Sanderson with the disc. Puts a big flick out, has his man. Ooh, and 88 unable to get it to Joel Pillar, but Pillar does call a foul. Says he's got some contact on the arm trying to go through. And we're going to open up our field mic.
So I felt like I got my body in front that side and I ran and this arm comes back when I run.
Yes, but say I'm making difference and
No,
your
no,
left
I
arm
was over this side. I was over this side of you. I felt like I got position in front of you and then
Now let's have a look at
I
our
couldn't tell exactly
replay.
what was going on between the two of you from over there.
We've seen
There was
the
definitely
throw
some
go
contact
up.
that occurred.
There is some contact. A very difficult call. They were both running to the disc.
So,
Parts
all right.
of the,
You're going to
small
dispute.
collision there.
You're not agreeing on what actually occurred, and that's all right. That can happen. So it sounds like you're not going to be able to resolve this, and that it's going to be contested. Yeah. So it sounds like it's a contested foul. Yeah. Yeah, but it sounds like it's a contested foul.
That's two more viewers
that it
for
would
us
go
by the
back.
sounds of things. They
Yep.
both will be tuning into Sky
Sounds it's contested foul.
production and checking this out later. Maybe they can watch it together over a beer. A tough call, though, either way. By our angle, it seemed incidental enough, but there was contact. So I do think he's justified to make the call. But in those incidental contact situations, very difficult. We'll chat with Ruben more about it after the point and get his perspective. Here we go, back in the game. And we've ripped a deep one to Pillar. And it gets past Gav, past Pillar, and into Rory Connell's swatting hand. Tom Tullett picks up the disc. Alex Latamatos cut early for him, and now it's up. Oh goodness, through two hands, and Rory Connell again saves the day, runs under, keeps the disc alive. Stacey coming under. Tom Tullett doesn't like it, goes to Connell. Connell, strip called in the throwing motion. Again, justified, but a very close call there. Connell will keep the disc. Tapped in. We're ready to play here. Connell feeds it up to Aldi. Aldi to Tullett. We've got a stoppage, pick called. And in position to resume. Tullett with disc in hand, a very dangerous thrower, of course. One of the best in Australia. Stacey now with the disc. Puts it up, great grab by Ben Sutas. Little thumb hook there to Latamatos. He puts a big one. He's got Nathan Stacey going. Has a bit on it, only inches away. But the ground makes that a turnover. And Outbreak get the disc in on their own goal line. Again, a very important point for Outbreak if they're going to stay in this game, as that one Max up and over off both hands. A very unfortunate miscue as Tullett picks up again. Colony, big forehand flick. Alex Latamato on the chase, catches it staying on his feet, has to retreat to the goal line, and is now in a situation where a 1 meter pop pass will count for a score. Rory Connell, 11-8, that's 4 in a row for Colony, and a fair run. Outbreak has got to get their mental toughness together and finish these points. Ruben Berg, the last call on the field. Tell us what you heard out there at field level between Joel Pillar and Gavin Moore.
Yeah, so they were just having a bit of discussion around exactly what contact did occur and whether or not that affected the play. And it's really up to the players in those instances to work that out. We can't provide that sort of perspective from the sidelines as to what contact did occur and how it might have affected the play. We were really out there to try and help the conversation move along. And when it became clear they weren't going to be able to agree, suggested it just be treated as a contested foul.
Excellent, well-mediated, Ruben. At least the discussion, whether they agreed or not, was resolved quickly, and we got the end result and got on with some play and some ultimates. So well done again to yourself, your team, and all the players involved. 4 in a row now for Colony, showing why they are this Colony team that we've all heard of for years. Behind us, 10-9 in the I-Beam clench game, and I believe it is still for clench as it gets macked up, or for I-Beam, but that one got macked up going to the end zone and almost a defensive assist. Rob Andrews rips a pull down. It's kicked well to avoid the rollout. Sanderson to Pillar. Pillar gets it to BJ. Alex Britton-Jones. Now to Pillar. Back to Pillar, coming under our cameras. Surveying options. Sanderson with the disc. Sanderson puts it. It's got some zip on it, a bit too much. He is shooting upwind, but that one just a bit too fast and in front of Britton-Jones. Latamatos picking up the disc. Chance for Colony to make 5 in a row. Latamatos goes the length of the field. He's got Lucas Nichols. Nichols has got room. Nichols has got himself a goal. No, he doesn't. On the goal line has Hudson. And number 8 for the goal for Colony. 5 in a row. Outbreak need answers. Colony on a landslide. Here comes the replay. Great shot. All day long, even with the disc moving up and down, the wind taking it for a ride. Lucas Nichols practically doing the moonwalk. He turned around by the time he caught that.
Heads up, boys! Heads up, boys!
12. How you going, Luke? I'm just on the own one. A bit hurt too.
Nice work, buddy. Have a good one. Catch up.
Tom Tullett with the disc, set to pull. Colony on a exceptional run since halftime, tidying their stuff up as Latamatos was hoping they might do. Seems to have been done. Much tidier second half, dominating the second half. Outbreak, desperate for answers. They're going to the big game. Schrader on the run. Michael Henry Thomas behind him. Schrader reads it perfectly. A beautiful throw by Britton-Jones. Defended reasonably well and perfectly read. They're just making some adjustments, pulling their D players over to the O-line and paying dividends. That's Greg Schrader reading it well and taking it away from Henry for a goal to stop the bleeding, so to speak. 12-9. Outbreak with their first answer in the second half. 10-all for Clench I-Beam on the other field for those listening at home. A cracker of a game. If we end ours first, we'll definitely swing our cameras over, as Clench would have just tied it up because they've just pulled. So I-Beam on the front foot over there. Clench playing catch up. Alex Britton-Jones with the disc, set to pull. Ooh, a big D for Clench, the Clench machine over there. Set to pull. I can't decide which field to look at right now. So much action, so much ultimate. It's happening everywhere. Britton-Jones puts the pull up. Ogden collects to Tullett. Tullett puts a big forehand up. Thomas Vaux on the receiving end, can't handle it. Out of hand, and Outbreak with a chance. And Britton Jones walks the disc in. Colony employs a zone. Scary. McKenzie throws it through. And practically a Callahan, but a defensive interception and a 1 meter throw for score. I believe it was Gavin Moore who collected himself the goal. Let's watch the replay here. McKenzie trying to throw through the zone, and Thomas Vos just barely even has to step. Throws a wobbler, the 1 meter for the goal. But wobblers count when the receiver's in the end zone. Still 10-10 on the I-beam clench field.
Ready?
13-9. Colony with the pole, running away with this one. The second half has been all Colony. Pillar ready, hand up. And another missed chance on the game behind. A huge point over there. And here comes the pull. Tom Tullett puts it up. Sanderson collects. Centers to Pillar. Pillar to Davis. K-on with the disc. Had a man, had Schrader at the sideline, opted out and centers to Pillar. Pillar. Then winds up a couple times. They're standing in the lane when Pillar has the disc, trying to make that big throw less of an option. Davis now with the disc to Pillar. Great catch. Gets his foot stepped on, throws the hammer. It's up. There's traffic. Oh, goodness. Glad nobody got smacked up too hard. People jumping up gingerly. And Clench scored the huge goal in the field behind to go up 11-10 and turn the tides. Lucky no one got smashed up. 4 people colliding in the same area there, but avoiding themselves just enough. And Colony collects the fruits of the turnover. Latamato shoots straight away to Lucas Nichols. But 3 Outbreak defenders break that up right away. Now Sanderson over the top, almost swiped out of the air. Pillar now with the disc. Pillar to K-on. K-on tries the flick, looks around. Pillar trying to make space for him. The mark is working well. And then he finally gets an easy dump on Sanderson, but a bit too late. Uncontested stall count. And Colony take the turn. Tullett winds up. He's got Andrews. Dingo to dingo here. Perfect shot from Tom Tullett. Past the defense with ease. Beautiful shot. And Colony now on match point. We've got the Cam Newton happening over with Rubenberg, with the indication that we have a team on the field that can win it in the next point. 11-10 behind us. Clench and I-beam putting their lines out, ready to pull. Phil White. We will get some of that action if we can, if this game finishes up straight away. For now, our attention definitely on this Colony Outbreak game. Excellent cracking first half in this game. Outbreak kind of threw the kitchen sink at him, and it seemed like Colony could absorb just enough and then taketh away.
right, crossblade.
That is a big shit That is as well.
Andrews to pull. Big inside out. That's coming out of bounds. Outbreak might as well just get a new disc and play from the brick mark. But Pillar's going to take a long walk. Again, we're in the cold weather here in Ballarat. What started as a cracker of a game, a 6-6 first half. Even all the way up to 8-8. 8-7 Outbreak took half. It was looking like it was going to be a neck and neck, but Colony put the foot down in the second half, took 5 in a row, and all of the momentum, and Outbreak clinging on to not much. They've got to put everything there 1 point at a time to try and extend this game. We'll see what we start with Pillar walking to the brick mark. Joel Pillar, break backhand straight to the turf. Not what he wants. Connell responds with a scuba that gets macked and caught for the goal. That's Ant Dowell. Colony puts it away nice and quick. Before we send him into the spirit circle, we've got Tom Tullett here. Tom, tell us about the game, particularly what you thought of your team and perhaps some adjustments in the second half.
Game was exciting, you said that before. Obviously we were pretty happy with our intensity and effort in the first half of the game. Just our execution errors weren't there, which has been a theme in our first half so far. We made a few tactical adjustments coming into the second half of the game, playing a little bit of assassination zone and just looking to jack the frisbee and gain field position in the wind. That seemed to sort of pay off a little bit, and we managed to get a few easy O points and a few easy D breaks. So we're pretty pleased with those tactical adjustments executed in the second half.
Excellent cupcake. You guys look good in the second half. Good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Steph.
Good to see you as always. We're going to turn our attention to the game behind us now. We've got Clench and I-Beam knotted at 11s. No indication of time by my watch yet, so we'll keep you updated on that once we have a handle on it. But for now, a good tight game with I-Beam set to pull to Clench. Ryan Davies with the disc, a dingo selection. I believe the only Newcastle dingo selection. Yuang, a new member to this Clench bench outfit, indicates they're ready. We've got 10 minutes till time cap as Zach Chodos stops the pull. Graham jostling to Linus, who misses Hodgson. Now Davies with the disc, I-Beam with a chance, a short possession for the boys from Clench. Davies to Lindsey Brown.
It's really interesting.
On the sideline here, number 9 with the disc. Looking for his dump, gets Davies again. Chodos on the mark, the cuts develop, he puts the big is up, lots of pit bodies in the neighborhood. Lefty, Chris Stoddart makes the catch. I believe he's out the back of the end zone though. No celebration, no jubilation. Instead, they all walk back and get set as the Clench handlers head to the disc. Jostling picks up the disc.
I was admiring, yeah, you grow yourselves obviously from Nashville too. When you do stand over there, it's just so like audio range. So they can hear all the
And brings it back to the line where we're just about to be back in play. Oh, gets past Max Halden, but Yui there to rein it in. He puts a big one up, and Stoddart gets a hand on it and knocks it out the sideline with a beautiful hand block. Ewing jokingly pushing him for wrecking his hucking glory. Now Davies with the disc going the other way. Swings it wide. Stoddard again. Gets to Davies wearing number 50. Davies looks for his swing. Engages. It's Stoddard. Rips it to the middle. Andy Wood flying through the air. Gets himself a beautiful layout D on the goal line. If you're ever going to get a layout D, that's where you want to save your team the most. And Andy Wood now, he's just flying all over the place. He wants it. He's feeling it. He might as well go to the end zone because he's going to catch it while Hodgson gets to this. It's up towards the end zone. Linus with the catch on the doorstep. Jostling with the goal. Jostling Shilton, I believe, is the remainder of that last name. But Clench with a huge goal. Andy Wood having a big impact on that point with a layout block and then a layout catch, maybe gratuitous on the offensive end. But valiant nonetheless to take a 1-point lead at the pointy end of this game. Here's the defensive layout. Look at him get in front, coming off his man. Beautiful turn. And look at him again. Hey, I'll just keep laying it. I'm going to take it back. That wasn't gratuitous. He had to go off balance for that. And we've got a timeout on the field.
The only thing I would say about the last couple of points is let's have a nice clear end zone call and set up and take a little bit of time to set up so we can fucking have some clean lines to cut into. Wind is in your heads now, boys. It's not terribly windy. Yeah. Just all on the top there. It's right, dude. The team's got you covered, man. I think it's time. Put the fire up a little bit and go with the speed. Yeah. Come on. This late game stuff, we need to fucking pull it out. So let's focus. Get your minutes to sit on. Big men will be out for it. Men will be on 3, 1, 2, 3! Big O points, guys. Big O points. Yeah! I kicked it.
Okay, here we go. Alex Shepard, disc in hand. The lone rep member on Clench, a newly appointed dingo as well. Ready to pull. Tail end of the game. Less than 10 minutes to play. 1 point separates. This is the ultimate we want to watch. Alex Shepard, a ripping pull. Nobody wants to catch it. I don't want any part of that pull. They watch it roll out the back. They'll play from the brick mark.
What was the result in this game?
Result? Colony scored
15-9.
I know it's half 8-7. And then they well, the buzz is
Disc is about 15 meters from being in. And I correct myself, not the brick mark. He's bringing it to the goal line, landed and rolled out. Levis with the disc. Wants to engage Davies. Brett tight on the mark. Gets Hill coming the other way. Hill to Lindsey Brown, to Davies. Latham on the mark with Davies disc in hand. Gets it to Levis. Levis flicks forward. Number 8 with the disc now, forward to Lindsey Brown. Floats to Levis. Levis on the doorstep here, in the corner. Has his man, 42, for the goal. It's all tied up, 12-12.
What's the time?
Let's go, Clanch! Mike Clanch!
Is it add 2? Add time cap just? Add 1, wouldn't it be? So if time cap went before that, this should be universe point. Is this universe point? Thank you.
Check your marbles, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a universe point situation coming up on field 6. Clench, I-beam. It all comes down to this. Put your best 7 on the line. Let's see what happens. Advantage Clench as they get the first possession. But anybody's game, of course, on universe point. I-beam, of course, doing it tough as they always do as far as their roster goes. I think 13 on the roster this year. That said, about 5 years ago, I-beam won the Australian Ultimate Championships with a roster about the same time. The very first season Ulti TV was covering the national championships. That I-beam squad won with 11 players by the time it came to the final, with 2 injuries. And they've ever since, I don't think they've ever had a roster bigger than 15. So it could be their thing down there. They select elite only and don't want to carry dead weight. Who knows what it is? But it seems to be a common thread as Davies puts up the pull on universe point. Here we go. Linus picks it up to Chodos. Chodos with the disc. Cuts generating. Stall count mounting. Gets it to Linus. Linus fakes the flick. Looked to throw big early. Now Chodos with it again. Chodos gets the backhand across to Linus. Now to Shepard. Shepard nearing the sideline. Wants to center. Gets it to Chodos. Does center. Very tidy thus far, these Clench boys. Call on the field. Pick called. Back in action just about here. Trying to determine who was where. And we get it to Halden. Max Halden with the disc. Gets it to Chodos. Far sideline, 20 meters out. Now back to Halden. Now to Linus. Getting closer to that end zone. Defense closing up. Over Halden. Over the second man. Oh, and bobbled again. That was the game. I-beam with a chance. Throw by Linus over Max's head. Over the heads of the next receiver, and he gets a second chance and still unable to close the hands on the disc. Oh, goodness. This is a close game. That game could have been won by a millimeter there. And now I-beam with a chance to close it out the other way. Levis puts it big straight away. 2 members of Clench there first. Oh, goodness. The I-beam come down with the disc. Now they're on the doorstep, 5 meters away. Will it go the other way? Popped up to Davies. Davies with the disc continues to Levis. He's the man who put that big flick. Foot blocked, but still caught. I-beam steal the show and take it from Clench in a cracker of a final point. We'll watch as they celebrate for a moment. Sign out for this game and be back for the next fixture. Part 2. Round 2 on day 2, but what a game we had behind us there. I-beam getting past Clench on a very improbable final point.
Yeah, well, it's in an hour, isn't it? Oh, is it in an hour? Yeah, next 10 minutes. These guys. I don't have to take it. Yeah, just turn it off, just pop it down. You turned me on before, now just turn me off.
So which one's not at the top?